Have you ever asked yourself how much money you would actually need to put aside every single month if you wanted to stop working in just 7 years? Not in 30 years, not when you're too old or too tired to enjoy life, but in only 7 years. Most people hear a question like this and instantly think it is impossible, something so unrealistic that they do not even bother to understand the math or the steps behind it. They imagine that retiring early requires a lottery win, or some secret investment trick that only wealthy insiders have access to. But the truth is that the answer is sitting right in front of you, hidden inside one simple idea. The idea that money grows faster than people expect when you treat it with structure, consistency, and absolute discipline. The idea that investing even a small portion of your income can open a path that most people will never even try to walk. And the idea that the difference between those who retire early and those who do not usually has nothing to do with income, luck, or intelligence. It has to do with choosing to understand how a system works and choosing to follow it with precision. And today you are going to see exactly how that system works for a 7-year timeline, not 10, not 20, but 7. A timeline so aggressive that most people dismiss it before ever running the numbers. And that is why this video holds a mystery you will want to solve. Because buried inside the calculations is a figure that will surprise you, a number that is smaller than what people fear and bigger than what people hope, and a number that you will hear later in this video when we reveal the exact amount you need to invest every single month if you want to buy back your freedom in 7 years by investing only 10% of your income. Now, before we move deeper, think about your own life for a moment. Think about what 7 years actually means. 7 years is short enough for you to imagine it clearly. You can picture where you might be living, the people around, you, the work you might still be doing. 7 years is not far away. It is close enough that your mind can treat it as something that belongs to this version of your life, not a distant dream. And yet it is long enough for money to compound, for habits to solidify, for your financial reality to transform so dramatically that you may not even recognize your old self. The mystery in this timeline is that it sounds impossible, but the math shows that it is not impossible, just demanding. And demand does not mean impossibility. Demand simply means the rules must be followed with absolute commitment. The first rule is understanding how money behaves over time. If you place $100 into an investment and it grows at 7% a year, that $100 quietly becomes $107. Then the next year it grows again, not just on your original $100, but on the extra $7.02. That is compounding. But when you look at it on a very short timeline, like a single year or two, it feels almost meaningless. The changes look small, barely noticeable. And that is why most people quit early. They never stick around long enough to experience the part where the curve starts to bend sharply upward. But when you look at a timeline of 7 years, the effect becomes measurable. And when you combine compounding with consistent contributions, even at only 10% of your income, the results become even more dramatic. But to unlock the truth of retiring in 7 years, you must understand that there are 3 forces working both for you and against you at the same time. Number 1, your contribution rate. Number 2, your investment return. Number 3, your lifestyle cost. These 3 forces form the engine that either accelerates or destroys your retirement plan. If one of them is misaligned, the entire structure collapses. But when all 3 are optimized, the engine becomes powerful enough to compress decades of financial progress into only 7 years. So let us break this down in the simplest way possible. Imagine 3 different people today. One earns $2,000 a month, one earns $4,000 a month, and one earns $8,000 a month. Very different lifestyles, very different opportunities, but all following the same rule of investing 10% of income. That means the first person invests $200 a month, the second invests $400 a month, and the third invests $800 a month. Now, if you run these numbers across 7 years at a realistic return of 7% after inflation, the results will surprise you. The first person ends up with a portfolio of roughly $20,000 to $22,000. The second ends up with around $40,000 to $45,000. The third ends up with around $80,000 to $90,000. And now you might look at those numbers and immediately think this proves you cannot retire in 7 years. But remember, these numbers reflect only one part of the equation. Because the real secret to retiring in 7 years is not only investing 10% of your income. The real secret is what you do with the remaining 90%. Here is where the practical roadmap begins. If you want to compress retirement into 7 years, you must decide exactly what your 7-year lifestyle target looks like. Retirement is not defined by age. Retirement is defined by having enough passive income to cover your living expenses. That means that the lower your expenses are, the faster retirement becomes reachable. And the higher your expenses are, the more distant it becomes. If you spend $3,000 a month, you need a completely different portfolio than someone who spends $1,100 a month. So the first practical step in this roadmap is calculating your personal freedom number. Your freedom number is the exact dollar amount you need each month to live comfortably without a paycheck. Not extravagantly, not miserably, but comfortably. If your freedom number is $2,000 a month, you need $24,000 a year. If your freedom number is $3,000 a month, you need $36,000 a year, and so on. Now here is the catch. If you want to retire in 7 years, you cannot rely solely on investment growth. You must combine investment growth with strategic lifestyle design and income expansion. Because retiring early is not only a mathematical pursuit, it is a behavioral pursuit. And behavior is something you can control entirely. You cannot control markets, but you can control what you spend. You cannot control inflation, but you can control the skills you acquire. And you cannot control global events, but you can control how aggressively you pursue financial autonomy. So here is where we take this roadmap into a real-life, practical methodology. Let us return to our 3 individuals, the one earning $2,000 a month, the one earning $4,000 a month, and the one earning $8,000 a month, all investing 10%. But now we introduce the second element of the system, the expansion of income. You see, the mistake most people make is assuming their current income is their permanent income. But in 7 years, a person can double, triple, or even quadruple their earning power if they deliberately pursue higher value skills, promotions, side projects. And the beauty of income growth is that once your income rises, your 10% contribution automatically rises with it, even if you change nothing. So now imagine this, the first person increases income from $2,000 to $3,000 within 2 years. Their monthly investment jumps from $200 to $300. Then maybe they reach $3,500 by year 4. Their investment jumps to $350. The same applies to the second and third individuals. By increasing income even modestly every 12 months, the compounding effect of contributions accelerates dramatically. This is the hidden power most people never activate because they treat income as static instead of dynamic. But let us push further because the true key to retiring in 7 years is building what I call the dual funnel system. Funnel number 1 is your investment funnel, capturing your 10%. Funnel number 2 is your opportunity funnel, capturing skill upgrades, small income streams, or digital service. When both funnels operate together, the 7-year compression becomes real, because you are not only investing more, but you are also creating multiple sources of income that can reduce or even eliminate your living expenses. For example, someone earning $2,000 a month might believe retirement is impossible. But if that same person builds a small online income of even $300 to $500 a month, suddenly their freedom number drops dramatically. Because passive or semi-passive income counts toward retirement just as much as investment income does. And this is where the math transforms from discouraging to empowering. Let us say your freedom number is $2,000 a month, but you build a side income of $700 a month. Now your investment portfolio only needs to generate $2,300 a month. That cuts the portfolio requirement almost in half. It cuts the timeline in half, and it transforms the 7-year goal from a fantasy into a practical mission. But here is where the mystery deepens. Because later in this video, we will reveal the exact dollar figure that you must invest every single month if you want to retire in 7 years with a diversified, stable, inflation-adjusted portfolio. And that number will surprise you. The reason it surprises people is because it represents a combination of your income, your lifestyle, your side income, your savings rate, and your investment return. It is the number that tells you whether you have been underestimating the power of consistency or overestimating the power of time. But before revealing that number, we must explore the third pillar of this system, lifestyle leverage. This is where you create financial room without sacrificing quality of life. because many people believe retiring early means living miserably. That is not true. Retiring early means designing your money intentionally instead of accidentally. There is a huge difference between reducing expenses through deprivation and reducing expenses through optimization. If you cancel everything you enjoy, you will quit after 6 months. But if you simply remove wasteful expenses, align your spending with your values, and redirect the savings toward your investment funnel, the system becomes effortless. A person earning $2,000 can free up $150 a month simply by eliminating unused subscriptions, reducing food waste, or renegotiating bills. A person earning $4,000 can free up $300 a month without any reduction in happiness. A person earning $8,000 can free up $700 a month with small optimizations, and every freed dollar accelerates the 7-year timeline. This is the structure. This is the map, and the number is coming soon. Building a 7-year retirement plan with only 10% of your income requires a strategy that is far more intentional than what most people follow in their entire lifetime. It requires understanding that money moves according to rules, and once you learn those rules, you can bend time in your favor. The people who retire decades early are not the ones who earn the most. They are the ones who understand leverage in its simplest form. The leverage of time, the leverage of contribution, the leverage of expenses, the leverage of income, the leverage of compounding. When all 5 levers are aligned, even a small percentage of your income becomes powerful enough to change your financial destiny within 7 years. And now we move into the most practical and deepest portion of this roadmap, the part where you learn exactly how to structure your investments, your daily habits, your income streams, and your long-term plan in order to achieve what most people believe is impossible. The first step is designing the architecture of your investment system. You cannot simply invest randomly or inconsistently and expect a 7-year transformation. You need a portfolio structure that is simple, diversified, low cost, and capable of delivering the stable compound growth that your timeline demands. For most people, that structure will revolve around a combination of broad index funds, inflation-protected assets, and small allocations to growth sectors. The purpose is not to chase extraordinary returns. The purpose is to generate reliable, predictable returns that keep you moving toward the 7-year target without unnecessary risk. If you are investing only 10% of your income, you cannot afford to gamble. You need discipline. A simple structure might look like this: 50% in a total stock market index fund, 20% in an international index fund, 20% in inflation hedges, such as REITs or Treasury inflation-protected securities, and 10% in targeted growth sectors like technology or clean energy. This structure gives you global exposure, inflation protection, moderate growth, and long-term resilience. But your portfolio alone is not enough. You must automate every contribution, because willpower will not win a 7-year challenge. Automation removes hesitation, removes temptation, removes the emotional friction that destroys financial progress. When your paycheck arrives, and 10% disappears instantly into your investments without requiring a thought, the system becomes unbreakable. This single change can transform someone who constantly struggles with money into someone who quietly builds a fortune. And the beauty is that automation scales automatically with your income. If you earn $2,000 today and $2,500 next year, your 10% contribution jumps without you having to remember or force yourself to adjust anything. Automation turns discipline into a default setting, and that is one of the strongest financial advantages you can create. The next layer of this roadmap is learning how to apply high-precision budgeting. Not the kind of budgeting that restricts every part of your life, but the kind that allocates money to the right places without making you feel deprived. A high-precision budget focuses on eliminating invisible losses, reducing financial drag, and improving cash flow efficiency. It is not about cutting your joy, it is about cutting the things that take your money without giving you any value in return. For example, someone earning $2,000 a month may lose $200 every month on small leaks, delivery fees, interest charges, unused services, poorly timed bill payments. When you tighten these leaks, you unlock extra capital that can be redirected into your financial engine. Someone earning $4,000 a month might find $300 to $400 money of hidden waste. Someone earning $8,000 might discover $600 to $900 of unnecessary leakage. These amounts alone can cut years off your retirement timeline if reinvested properly. But now let us move deeper into the structural changes that accelerate a 7-year retirement. One of the most powerful is the concept of expense replacement. Instead of cutting expenses directly, you build income streams that cover specific bills. For example, imagine you earn $3,000 a month and one of your biggest expenses is a $400 car payment. You could cut the payment by selling the car, but maybe you need the car. Instead, you build a small online income of $400 a month. That single income stream eliminates your car payment indefinitely. It is like receiving a permanent discount on your life without sacrificing anything. If you replace 2 or 3 major expenses like this, your overall cost of living drops dramatically without reducing your quality of life. And when your living expenses fall, your retirement target shrinks proportionally. The lower the target, the faster the 7-year plan becomes achievable. Now let us examine the second pillar of leverage: income expansion. To retire in 7 years, you cannot rely solely on the income you have today. You must grow it methodically. There are 3 income expansion pathways that anyone can follow, regardless of their background. Pathway 1 is skill stacking. This is where you take your existing abilities and add 1 or 2 complementary skills that dramatically increase your earning power. For example, someone working in customer service could add basic sales skills and double their value in the job market. Someone in administration could add digital tools and increase their salary by 30 to 50%. Someone in education could add online course creation and unlock a scalable income. Skill stacking is one of the most underused forms of income growth, yet it is accessible to everyone. Pathway 2 is career optimization. This is where you strategically move from roles that cap your income to roles that allow growth. Many people remain stuck in the same job for years because they do not understand how to position themselves for bigger opportunities. But if you learn how to present your value, negotiate offers, and pursue roles that reward performance, you can raise your income every 12 to 18 months. Even small increases become powerful when 10% of each raise is automatically invested. Pathway 3 is digital monetization. This includes content creation, small online services, YouTube channels, or digital products. The reason digital income is so effective is that it has low startup cost, flexible hours, and infinite scalability. If someone earning $2,000 a month creates a $500 monthly online income, that is a 25% increase with no need to switch jobs. Someone earning $4,000 could create $1,000 extra and transform their entire savings rate. Someone earning $8,000 could build $2,000 of online income and completely change their retirement trajectory. And because digital income requires no physical location, it becomes a long-term asset that continues to generate revenue even after retirement. Now let us move into the psychological foundation of a 7-year retirement, because numbers alone cannot carry you through 7 years of consistent effort. You need a mindset that is engineered for endurance, and the strongest mindset you can build is the mindset of inevitability. When you treat your retirement plan as something that will happen, not something that might happen, your behavior shifts. You no longer question whether you should invest, you simply invest. You no longer wonder whether you should reduce an expense, you simply optimize it. You no longer debate whether you should build a new income stream, you simply begin. Inevitability creates momentum. Momentum creates consistency, and consistency creates results that look impossible to those who rely on motivation alone. But the most practical and important component of this journey is identifying your 7-year number. The number that determines exactly how much you must invest every month if you want to retire in 7 years at your personal lifestyle level. And here is the truth. People do not fail because they cannot reach the target. They fail because they do not know the target. When the target is invisible, every effort feels insufficient. But when the target is clear, your brain begins to orient itself toward it automatically. So let us reveal the structure for calculating this number. Step 1. Define your freedom number. If you want $2,000 a month in retirement income, your annual requirement is $24,000. Step 2. Determine your expected return after inflation. A reasonable assumption is 7%. Step 3. Use the investment timeline of 7 years. Step 4. Apply the required savings formula for the future value of a growing portfolio. But let us not use formulas to confuse you. Let us use practical examples for different income levels. If your freedom number is $2,000 a month and you invest 10% of an income of $2,000 a month, your contribution is $200. Over 7 years, this will not be enough. You will need extra income or lower expenses. If your income is $4,000, investing 10% means $400 a month. Still not enough for a full retirement, but significantly closer. If your income is $8,000, investing $800 a month brings you very close to a position where your portfolio can provide meaningful income. But what is the exact number? How much do you actually need to invest every single month? The answer is this. To retire in 7 years at a middle-class lifestyle level, you must invest between 25% and 35% of your income. But because this roadmap's limited to 10% investments, you must supply the additional capacity through income expansion, expense optimization, or digital monetization. That is the hidden truth. 10% alone cannot retire you in 7 years unless your income is high or your lifestyle is extremely lean. But 10% combined with strategic income growth, targeted expense replacement, and long-term digital leverage can absolutely get you there. Now let us reveal the number that unlocks the mystery. If you want to retire in 7 years at a lifestyle of $2,500 a month, you must have a portfolio of roughly $500,000. To reach that number within 7 years, you must invest approximately $4,500 a month at a 7% return. But many people cannot invest $4,500 directly. That is why the system relies on income expansion and the power of building new streams. If you begin with only 10%, your mission becomes raising your income until that 10% equals the required investment amount. It is not about reducing your target, it is about increasing your capacity. If your 10% becomes $4,500, you reach the number automatically. And the fastest way to increase capacity is through high-value skills, strategic career moves, and scalable digital income. So now ask yourself, where can your income be in 7 years? Can you double it? Can you triple it? Can you build 1 or 2 online income streams that function even while you sleep? If the answer is yes, then you can retire in 7 years with mathematical precision. Because the moment your 10% equals the required monthly contribution, the timeline locks in. The moment your lifestyle expenses stabilize or decrease, the target shrinks. And the moment your investment funnel grows through automation, the compounding engine activates. A 7-year retirement is not a fantasy. It is a test of whether you will follow the blueprint with enough consistency to reach the finish line. You are not racing against other people. You are racing against time, habits, distractions, and financial drag. You are racing against the version of yourself who has dreams but never executes. And the good news is that you can win this race. You can walk away from your job in 7 years if you treat the next 7 years as sacred, if you treat your money with intention, if you build the skill sets that command higher income, if you eliminate financial drag, and if you automate your investing so deeply that discipline becomes effortless. This is your roadmap. This is your system. And the path is now visible. In the end, a 7-year retirement comes down to one decision. Will you take control of your financial trajectory, or will you allow the world to shape it for you? If you choose control, everything changes. If you choose clarity, everything accelerates. And if you choose consistency, everything becomes inevitable. Your future self will remember this moment as the moment everything shifted. This is your chance. Take it. Subscribe. Just a reminder, I'm not a financial advisor. This video is for educational purposes only, and any results depend on your own decisions and actions.